I was tired of working in my kitchen over this short table, so I designed a workstation that holds multiple computers, dispenses wires, and lets me get way more work done each day. The files to make all of this are available for free, so stick around to see how it might help your workspace. My old workspace actually kinda looked like a realistic rendering of the room in our Lo-Fi video. After some remodeling, it's beautiful, clean, and happy. The new studio is a lot smaller, about half the size of my old one, so I had to do a lot with a little. It took over 2 weeks to organize over 10,000 screws. But knowing where everything is and having it within arm's reach is amazing. I use these sturdy Acro Mills organizers because it's a standard that I can rely on for 3D printing and sharing organizer trays. They work great. Links in the description. I organize the bins by screw type, head, drive, and length. It works for me, but if you have better ideas, please let me know in the comments. I could have mounted the bins directly to the wall and it would have been cheaper, but I found these perfectly sized bamboo cabinets on Amazon. I quickly designed some French cleats, or Mississippi cleats, and 3D printed them so they could be easily moved and adjusted. By the way, if you haven't used these easy drywall anchors yet, they are amazing. If you can't tell yet, I'm ADHD, so leaving a project for even a minute to search for a screw can lead to a day's worth of rabbit holes. Now this tool chest came from Harbor Freight, and I'm sorry to say, it was expensive. But after 12 years of keeping customer projects in boxes and my tools strewn about in 3 locations, I wanted something more secure and organized. Since I'm giving you a tour of my office, I felt like I needed to include this part. My old tool chest was my workbench for everything, and now it sits on the opposite side of my office. It holds my video rigging equipment and my 3D printers. In the past, I used tape and construction paper to keep light out of my eyes while I worked. I don't know why it took me so long, but I finally got around to printing these grid modifiers on the Qidi X Max 3 out of PETG. Now I can easily see what I'm doing without polluting the rest of the workspace with unwanted stray light. These work flawlessly, and again, you can download them in the description below. In fact, I think that these could be a really good Etsy option for you if you find a popular light on Amazon. There was only one small space left in this room, and that was reserved for the most important part, the desk. For various reasons, productivity, health, etc., I stand all day when I work. So no chairs meant I knew I could put storage underneath my desk. Now I hand make and sleeve cables and wires for computers as a primary source of my income and sell them on my website. I had the idea of mounting a spool holder underneath the desk. Of course, I needed to model this up. Days later, I not only had a wire dispenser system designed, but a desk system that could house multiple computer builds and massive liquid cooling. My original idea was to make rack ears for the S4T and S4M, as many customers have requested over the years. But quickly, I realized that a simple 2U rack shelf was far superior in every way. Of course, I couldn't be happy with just a simple 2U rack, so I made my own. So to make this computer desk and all the accessories, I had to model the desk in 3D. The original plan was to make the files and the case for this desk agnostic, so you could use it with any desk. And you still totally can, but for exact fitment without modifying the files, you need the same desk I used, which is the FlexiSpot E6. I chose it for a couple reasons. Firstly, it's a very popular desk, as anyone who spends time on YouTube knows. If I was going to spend a lot of time 3D modeling a desk, I wanted it to be something the community was already using. Secondly, and honestly, I already spent all my money on that tool chest, so I called up FlexiSpot and they said that they would send me one for free. It is extremely well built. Has a beautiful bamboo top, and the motor is very smooth. They suggested I sit on top of it and work the motors to show you how smooth it is, but we've seen enough of that already, so I'll spare you. It did make installing the case accessories and the spool holders really easy, because I could lay on the floor, and then I could raise it back up again. Okay, this is one more sponsor, Suncut. I use them for pretty much all my projects. It's like the best way to get sheet metal parts made if you're in the USA for prototyping. They're fast, extremely affordable, and they did sponsor part of this project with a coupon. I still spent hundreds of dollars of my own money on these parts because, well, I got a lot of sky slots. The more holes, the more surface area, the more surface area, the more money. But I want to do this prototype right in case people really like it and we want to get more done in the future. I also have to say I was really sick at the time, so I rushed the spray job during a windy day, and it's probably my worst paint job ever. I mean, it basically looks great just standing right here, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so here's something else I tried that worked way better than expected, and it's the 3D printed cleats again. I did it this way because if I directly screwed the case to the table, it would be tricky to line up and it wouldn't have any adjustability. This allowed me to get the perfect tolerances for the rack shelves and still have perfectly lined up edges. It's crazy strong and allows me to quickly pull a side off if I want to install parts on it, on the desk, instead of under the desk. Although, again, it is nice to be able to lower the desk to do that. What did not work out was the original design. The shelves caused the case wings, as I call them, to bend out. I didn't do the math right here. I think I fixed the problem in the CAD, and I'm gonna share with you the updated versions, and it should be good to go, but I still had to work on a fix for my panels. I designed 3D printed brackets that attach to carbon fiber spines, which are shelves for the shelves. They can also bolt to the ends of the 2U shelves for extra rigidity. Okay, real quick, I want to address a problem. You might point out that with the rack mount and the case here, you can't sit under the desk with a chair like normal people. But two things on that. One, that the racks are optional. You can remove them and sit underneath and still have your computer in the front. But you don't have to. Imagine walking into your office and seeing your gaming setup like this. Back to the wire spool dispensers, these little guys work so well. They screw into the bottom of the desk and hold wires and sleeving so I can pull out and cut them while working without the spools unraveling. They are fully 3D printed, so no bearings or rods are needed, and with the bamboo printer, the tolerances are so precise that the caps attach with a satisfying click. I did add rubber bands to increase the holding power, but I'm not sure it's needed. Again, I have links to the files in the description, but I am uploading them to the Bamboo app so people can use my settings and get them exactly how I got them. Now I have an awesome workspace where I have access to all my materials and tools, and I don't have to go rummaging through boxes in 2 different rooms to get everything. All of my work lighting is natural, and while it makes filming challenging, it makes my health better. I know this video is different and maybe a little bit lazier compared to those massive projects where we do all sorts of machining to make some really crazy tiny computer, but it's also important just to make things and to help people make things. The workspace is just so important for that. I appreciate you sitting through this video, and I hope that the files and ideas are helpful to you. Thanks again to FlexiSpot and SynCutSyn for helping make this project possible. I appreciate all of you guys. Till next time, peace.